We are here in Bonaire, St. Mark with historian Desirée Baptiste, a Grenadian by descent. The researcher is at the heart of a revelation that a British king profited personally from slavery in Grenada. The research was published by Reuters news outlets 2 months ago. Today, she is taking us to the site. What used to be a plantation filled with sugarcane is now a residential area and the home of the Bonaire Government School. Standing in front of what used to be a sugar mill, Baptiste gives us a backdrop of our history.
In terms of the work, it's a passion I've had all my life. I grew up in the household of a historian father, and that's where my love for history comes from. I've been a researcher for many, many years, doing commissioned research. And slowly my work turned towards Grenada, which is not surprising because obviously my father is from Grenada, my ancestry is in Grenada, and I began exploring the story of enslavement right here in Grenada, which is a history that belongs to all of us because it was our ancestors who worked unpaid for the riches of the English establishment. And then there was a turn towards the royal family in my research, and I came upon an interesting document which showed that a British king, George IV, he ruled from 1820 to 1830, and he personally profited from enslaved people right here in Grenada. In 1823, he received a payment of £1,000, which is over 100,000 in today's money, directly going into the privy purse. It was directed to the privy purse, which is his private income. And that means an English monarch, a British monarch, personally profited from our ancestors. To have come across that one document, there are likely going to be more showing more private payments like that, but it was a first. And it centers right here in Grenada and on the land that we are standing on right now, which is the Bonaire estate, which is now a lovely, quiet village. But back 200 years ago, this would have been the equivalent of a concentration camp.
We spoke to Pearl Belfon, a resident of Bonaire, who gave us a community perspective of the old sugar mill.
I am Pearl Belfon and I am 74 years old. They make rum in the mill and they use bagasse and wood and so to fire the copper to heat the juices and so that's gathered from the sugar cane. We don't have much sugar cane around now. There also be vast fields of sugar cane which they use to make the sugar and the rum, but you don't have much of that now. Some places you will see a little sugar cane, but not that amount. The older heads would tell you there was this mill there, and it was very important, and lots of people worked there. They depended on it for their livelihood, but I don't know how many people were there, when they were there. Can't give it that.
According to a Reuters article published on August 7, 2025, Buckingham Palace did not immediately respond to a request for comments. Baptiste's research has been verified by the University of Manchester, Professor Edmund Smith, and Dr. Nick Draper, founder of the University College London's Legacies of British Slave Ownership Project. Her independent study, Slaves, the Property of His Majesty George IV and Grenada, comes as calls for reparation for slavery gains momentum, particularly across the Caribbean. Rena Pierre Thomas, GBN News.